The World Cup is a little more than a month away, and many across Seattle say they're concerned about public safety. Neighbors who live near Little Saigon say what's happening in plain sight is only getting worse. Fox 13's Alejandro Guzman shares one man's perspective after living on the streets and what he believes could help turn things around.
This is an intersection that many now avoid, 12th and Jackson. It's the heart of the Little Saigon, an area that is now plagued with problems. In just 36 days, the eyes of the world are going to be on Seattle for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Some have turned to city leaders saying that they don't feel that this area is ready for the influx of fans. In the Chinatown International District, neighbors tell Fox 13 the problems are happening in plain sight.
It's a drug crisis fueled by stolen goods market, and it's also a housing crisis. And we can't address one without addressing the other.
People are shoplifting and bringing goods to Little Saigon to sell for cash to buy drugs.
Mayor Katie Wilson is promising 500 new shelter beds by kickoff. But for Corey Ratliff, who has been experiencing homelessness, he feels tiny home villages aren't the answer.
I am a drug addict and homeless, and I just want to speak on the fact that it took me 45 days in jail to finally get my mind right, and hold myself accountable. I was being enabled from the city with free pipes, free foil, free housing, places that police can't really come in and do anything about.
Fox 13 reached out to the mayor's office regarding Corey's claims. In response, her office says, in part, quote, "Different people need different types of support. What works for one person might not work for another." That said, the data is quite clear that, in general, tiny house villages are particularly successful in putting people on a path to stability and permanent housing, end quote. On Wednesday, City Council will vote on emergency ordinance to bypass zoning laws and increase occupancy limits from 100 to 150 and even 250 people at one tiny home site. From Inner Bay to Capitol Hill to West Seattle, the city is doubling down on housing first. Ratliff told city leaders jail and sober living programs saved his life, while tiny homes gave him space to continue his addiction.
There's tiny home villages, housing projects, everything there is comfortable to be homeless and a drug addict. 10 years ago, I couldn't do that. And these days it's so easy to be a drug addict and you're accepted in the city because it's okay. And we're just putting them into a building off the street. So now the city is thinking that it's not a problem anymore. No, it's still an issue. It's not being handled correctly.
While some are calling for more funding for tiny home villages and services, Ratliff believes it's the approach that needs to change.
What helps the situation is to hold us accountable. If we're slipping in the streets and we're selling dope or we're pimping or we're doing anything that's against the law, hold me accountable, arrest me. Don't give me a slap on the wrist.
With only 36 days until the World Cup, Mayor Wilson is 42.8% of the way there with 214 units identified. She still needs to secure more than half of her promised units to get to her target goal of 500. In the CID, I'm Alejandra Guzman.